This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Some local businesses participated in a protest called A Day Without Immigrants. Learn more next. Hello everyone, welcome to the Friday Eve edition of SSPTV News, your place for 24 hours of your hometown news and information. I'm Ken Kara and I thank you so much for your time. Let's get to that story I was just talking about and the rest of our headlines from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. Many organizations across the country are taking part in a protest called A Day Without Immigrants. Eddie Ulerio, the publisher of Pondor Latino News in Hazleton, sent out an email stating that many Hispanic businesses in Hazleton would not be open today in response to a national call for a day without immigrants. In that email, Ulerio explained that President Donald Trump's immigration policies, as well as his anti-immigrant comments specifically towards Mexicans, have given rise to a protest movement called A Day Without Immigrants. The purpose is to highlight the relevance of immigrants, undocumented, resident, and immigrant citizens from all over the world in the U.S. economy. Governor Tom Wolf today announced the approval of more than $1.4 million in funding through the Keystone Communities program. The funding will support 9 community revitalization projects across the Commonwealth, including one in Schuylkill County. $200,000 has been allocated to the Schuylkill County Land Bank for the acquisition, demolition, and rehabilitation of blighted properties in Schuylkill County. The project is not only designed to remediate blight, but to also repurpose properties and increase the tax base, create jobs, and make communities more livable. The project has been in the works for 10 years. Yesterday, state and local officials gathered at the intersection of Route 901 and 209 in Norwegian Township in Schuylkill County, where new traffic lights have been installed. The intersection is along a road known as the Pottsville-Minersville Highway. It has been the site of numerous accidents over the years, some fatal. According to PennDOT, more than 16,000 people travel that area daily. The 6 lights installed are activated by video detection and based on traffic volume. Some minor touches still need to be completed, including signage, paving, and seeding the area. The project should be finished by May 23rd. The Hazleton Area School Board took their first steps in the 2017-18 budget process. The preliminary budget passed by a vote of 9-0 with a $4.9 million deficit. However, Anthony Reba, the district's business manager, says that will change after the state passes their budget and the local district is able to see how much money they will receive from the Commonwealth. There are other factors that will go into the final budget as well, but a preliminary budget had to be passed by Wednesday. The board also voted to apply for exceptions to the state. The state will look at debt service, retirement, and special education. If costs are going up faster than the index in retirement and special education, the state can give the district an exception to raise taxes above the index they set at 3.5%. Board member Clarence John says this doesn't mean that's going to happen and that he thinks the sentiment of the board is to not raise taxes. Another board member, James Chapman, says the only reason they apply is to keep their options open. The final budget is due at the end of June. The petition process is underway for the upcoming primary election, and we have important dates for candidates and voters. This year's Pennsylvania primary will take place on May 16th. Candidates for the Republican and Democratic ballots have until March 7th to file their petitions with their county election bureau. Independent candidates can start filing and circulating nomination papers on March 8th. Their filing deadline is August 1st. Only registered voters can sign a candidate's petition. The last day to file and objection to a nominating petition is March 14th. Meanwhile, the last day to register to vote in the upcoming May primary is April 17th. The last day to apply for an absentee ballot for the primary is May 9th. Yesterday, SSPTV News was there as the girls announced the winner in the Laurel Mall's Gifts from the Heart promotion. Today, we have the latest on the mall's upcoming edition and some special events that will be taking place at the mall. Here's our Lisa Sugar.
Well, the countdown continues to the big opening of TJ Maxx here at the Laurel Mall. We're here for an update with our good friend Rocco Aruzzo, the business development manager at the mall. People keep asking you, when is TJ Maxx opening, right?
Yeah, they do every day. When's TJ Maxx opening? And they see a lot of construction still going on the outside. I can tell you one good thing, it will be in April.
All right, so we heard it here. April, definitely. So people will be thrilled, right?
Yeah, they will. TJ Maxx has their procedures they go through, and they said to us, that it's going to be in April. They're anxious to come here to the Laurel Mall, and of course, as we keep talking about it, we're anxious to get them open, so we're excited.
Absolutely. But in addition to waiting for that in April, there's a lot of great things happening this month here at the Laurel Mall. You have some busy activities coming up.
Yeah, we do. I'm going to use my cheat sheet if you don't mind, because we have a lot going on. On Friday, February 17th, again, our good friends from the American Red Cross will be here with their mobile unit outside in the west entrance of the Laurel Mall by Dunham's in the Laurel Mall office on February 17th to the 19th. This is a biggie. This is our sports card show. That's going to be located this year up in the Boscov's wing because it's a little bigger than what usually they have. So we're looking forward to that. It's February 17th to the 20th. We're going to have our President's Day sidewalk sale.
All right, great things happening here at the Laurel Mall. Come out and enjoy the sidewalk sale, and then, of course, come out and enjoy TJ Maxx once that's open as well. Thanks for talking with us, Rocco. We'll be back for more updates.
Pleasure. Thank you very much, Lisa. Always great to have you here at the Laurel Mall.
Thank you, Lisa, for that interview. Now, for more information on the happenings at the Laurel Mall, check them out on Facebook. Now, I need everyone to be calm for this next story about free pizza. Frankie's Cold Pizza and their Pizza Express is now bringing their box cold pizza to your door. And right now, you have a chance to win a box of 12 slices of Frankie's Cold Pizza with their signature sauce and cheese blend baked fresh all day with no preservatives. Call 570-459-9813, extension 104. Leave us your name and phone number, and we'll pick a winner at random. You must pick up your prize at Frankie's by the close of business on Sunday, and be sure to check out their delivery schedule for Frankie's Express on their Facebook page. Coming up on SSPTV News, it's Dave Day, and we have a lot to talk about with the Standard Speaker sports editor, Schuylkill League basketball playoffs and swimming championships, college basketball playoffs, and Hazelton area basketball. I think that's it, but trust me, it flows. When we come right back, Charles McElwee from the Greater Hazelton Historical Society tells us how a recent column in the New York Times relates to our area.
This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazelton Standard Speaker.
I'm pleased to welcome back our dear friend Charles McElwee, a member of the Board of Directors for the Greater Hazelton Historical Society and Museum right here in Hazelton. And today, telling me that an article kind of got your interest, talking, I guess, about history itself, but what is shaping history right now kind of has an impact right here in our area.
Right, so in a recent column in the New York Times, the columnist David Brooks wrote about James Fallows, who is a senior editor at The Atlantic. And James Fallows has been traveling the country a lot recently, post-election, places like Erie. And the question that David Brooks asked was, if you can go anywhere in the world right now that's most importantly shaping history, where would it be? And the Fallows argument is that it would actually be small cities in the United States, places like Erie, places like small cities in Pennsylvania, in Ohio, not those coastal cities that we usually think are shaping the trajectory of the country. And that's an interesting trend that we're seeing, because if you look at the 2000s, the most important place in the world would arguably be the Middle East, because it was being reshaped by war. In the 90s, it was Silicon Valley, creating the internet age. In the 80s, it was Japan with its economic boom. But Fallows has concluded that it would be places like Erie, and I think that argument could also apply to where we are in Hazelton.
Well, I know all the media has been converging on Hazelton. We've seen the major networks coming here thinking that we are playing a major role in history because of the outcome of the election.
Right, we have seen ad nauseum these profiles internationally, people coming to Hazelton, reporters, and oftentimes, unfortunately, how they reference places like Hazelton, I think, is cliche or even, very inaccurate. Flyover country, real America. But no, it's just there is a lot of change in Hazelton. And I think that in Hazelton, you have a very strong civic culture and a lot of investment and revitalization efforts from the work of the Downtown Hazelton Alliance for Progress, the work that we're doing at the Historical Society, the ongoing mural projects, the work to create an arts center in the downtown. And I think that when you have that strong sense of civic culture in a community like Hazelton, you are shaping history and you are trying to create a better tomorrow by what you're doing today. So I think the Fallows question, yes, it would apply to Hazleton. And I hope in the future that when we do have these national profiles, they will understand that there's a lot more to this community than the election, that there is a strong sense of history here. There's a lot going on and a lot of people trying to shape the outcome of how Hazleton will be in the future.
Absolutely right. Well, and if anyone wants to know anything about the history of our area, you always want them to come to the museum because that's where they can see firsthand what happened in years past.
Right, 3-story museum in downtown Hazleton. Come there and get inspired.
All right, great idea. And Charles will be back each and every week to tell us more about how things were in the past and how we got here. Thanks so much, Charles. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
There's one thing I've learned from living in Pennsylvania, it's to always go whiz-wit and to get French fries on your sandwich whenever you can. Also, make sure you're ready for all 4 seasons at any time. Here's a local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, mostly cloudy. We'll have a low of 18 degrees and a northwest wind from 10 to 16 miles per hour. Friday looks nice, mostly sunny with a high in the mid-30s. Friday night, mostly cloudy. We'll have a low of 26 degrees. Saturday, it heats up, mostly sunny with a high near 49. At night, mostly cloudy. We're down to the mid-30s. Sunday, mostly sunny, high near 50 degrees once again. Sunday night, mostly clear with a low of 32. On President's Day, sunny with a high near 47. And then on Monday night, partly cloudy, low of 31 degrees.
I am enjoying myself here at Celebrations at Sand Springs with the cozy fireplace in the background. And again, I love the tablecloth, this sparkly tablecloth. I'm going to take it with me when I leave. It's one of the upgrades here at Sand Springs. And we're back with Rachel to tell you about the upgrades, lots of upgrades in 2017. You guys are always coming up with new ideas, and I love that about here.
Yes, so like you were saying, this tablecloth is sparkly and fun. This is a new upgrade that we're offering this year. So we see a lot of those big, bold colors that we were talking about in the trends. So that's why, we put together some table settings that, a lot of brides this year are really interested in, and, it kind of shows that big pop of color. So the linens are huge. Everyone wants their wedding to look different from the wedding they were at last. So the sparkles, the big, bold colors on the tablecloths, adding colors to your cocktail hour. That's all really big right now. So definitely all new options. Could do overlays, runners,
Everything,
all
so
kinds
much.
of things. Yes.
Speaking of poppin', we got some popcorn options this year.
Yes, so I am super excited about this upgrade. The popcorn bar is a new upgrade we're adding. So it's gonna be really fun because it allows the guests to interact with this station. They get to scoop their own popcorn, they get to choose their own candy toppings, and they even get to choose from a whole array of flavors. So you could go as simple as you want, or you can go as crazy and put some buffalo wing flavoring on your popcorn, and it's really fun. And a lot of people are looking for those really salty treats at the end of the night. Not only our popcorn bar is our extra upgrade this year, but we have our donut bar. Donut bars are going to be a huge thing for 2017. I'm so excited. The donut bar is also interactive, not as much as the popcorn bar, but it's this big wall of donuts that we created, and we do an array of different types of donuts, to sprinkles, to chocolate, glazed, powdered, and we can take any requests from a bride. So,
I love it.
Yeah, so
I love
that's
it.
really popular. But we still have our same old candy buffet and our s'mores bar, so we're looking to sort of bump those up a little bit as well. And there's other items on our whole list of upgrades that we give to our brides.
And really, you can be as creative as you want. I was thinking maybe a sushi bar would be nice, or a vegan
really
bar,
cool.
or something
Yes.
cool like that too. So you do have those healthy options as well if someone would
Absolutely.
like to put that into their budget.
And also, too, we actually are offering new cake stands this year. So if a bride is looking to sort of create that extra elegant look in their wedding cake and their wedding cake display, we offer silver or gold cake stands that you can rent. And we also offer cupcake stands that we've started to rent out as well. So it adds a little bit of a fun factor to the cake and the dessert option.
So again, there are a lot of different choices. You are not limited by any means or stretch of the imagination here if you're getting married. So they can check in with you. I know you've booked a lot of weddings so far for this year, but you're still booking for 2017.
Oh, yes. Yes, so we still have a lot of Fridays, a lot of Sundays available. We're always looking for those winter wedding brides. So, that's something, come and take a look and meet with me, and I'd be happy to give anyone a tour and talk to them about what they're looking for.
Very good. Always something going on here at Sand Springs.
Thank you, Janine. Donut Bar, that's all I'm thinking about right now. It's awesome. Here's your midday winning lottery numbers on SSPTV News. Pick 287, pick 3 516, pick 4 1461, and pick 5 89026. When we come back, Dave Seaman and I will discuss the upcoming District 11 AA playoffs in boys basketball.
Time now for sports on SSPTV News.
We moved Dave Day to Thursday this week, and Dave, that was because of the PSU AC playoffs, and we'll get to that in just a moment, but let's start with the Standard Speaker sports editor talking about the Schuylkill League playoffs. The Marion boys, Dave, had a tall task going up against Blue Mountain. Blue Mountain, I read in the article in the Standard Speaker, played some great defense, held Brandon Muhammad in check for Marion, who I also read left the game with an injury. So Marion does not make it to the Schuylkill League championship, but District 11 AA tournament coming up, Dave. They will be in their Shenandoah Valley. I saw in the power rankings. I have no idea how they work with all those crazy numbers in District 11, but it looks like Shenandoah Valley is just ahead of them at the #1 seed, then Marion, and then Monoy area. All these teams have beat each other during the season. So for me, I have a big question mark in the bracket. You're much better than me at this. What do you think going into everything? And do I have the district rankings right there?
You have the district rankings right. I won't try to explain them. All I know is it looks like Marion will be playing Monoy area in a semifinal. Shenandoah Valley will await the winner of Moravian Academy and Williams Valley. So it's a good chance that we're going to see some rematches either between Shenandoah Valley and Marion. Definitely Marion and Monoy area. For the Colts, they just got to forget about that game last night. Got away from them early. You put that in the rearview mirror, and then you look forward to the district playoffs because you're playing a team that more teams you're familiar with, and then when you get into the playoffs, anything can happen, and you got a second chance to make a tone.
And Dave, if you looked at the Schuylkill League Division III race like a horse race, or even these three teams, I think at times you were looking and you said, all right, Marion's ahead, and then you'd see Shenandoah, and they came on strong, and then Monoy, I think, beat Marion right at the end of the season there, and I don't want to say forgot about them, but you thought, okay, maybe they're the #3 there, and these teams have just been bouncing back and forth all year.
Yeah, Monoy area had they started the season something like 7 or 8-0, and then they had a real bad stretch where they lost 7 of 8 games, but they finished really strong. You go into the momentum, go into the playoffs with a lot of momentum on a big high. It's got to help the Bears. Then again, now you have a layoff. Does that stall your momentum a little bit? Marion's played now in the league playoffs, so they were practicing getting ready for league playoffs, but also they're going to have a little layoff until I believe next Tuesday. Shenandoah Valley, another layoff, but a team that last year made a nice run into to the district final and into the state playoffs. They won a few games, so they have some experience too, and it's going to make some exciting times among the local basketball scene.
Speaking of exciting times, Dave, you were at Huey McGeehan Gymnasium when the Hazelton Area Cougars won Division I of the Wyoming Valley Conference. You're also at that great Crestwood game. Coach Joseph brought out his seniors. He really showcased them in that game against Pittston area. What did you see on the floor as the Cougars wrapped up their title?
I just saw a lot of people that they finally got a chance to play as starters too, and they worked just as hard as the other starters. They went out there and they did their job, got the lead for the Cougars, and by the time they turned it over to the talented junior class or something, the juniors just picked up where they left off and do what they do. They stretched the lead and got points in bunches, and it was another win going away for the Cougars on their way to the Division I championship.
And now let's get to those Penn State University Athletic Conference playoffs. The Penn State Hazelton women, they win in the first round at home against Penn State Du Bois. They'll get to the semifinal round. It's a rematch of last year's championship game, Penn State Hazelton against Penn State Beaver. Steve Stallone had the coverage in the Standard Speaker of the first round game. And his lead, Dave, was all about chemistry with this team. And when I did my feature story on them, it seemed like that. They're very close. They don't have the size, so they really have to work together as a team, use their speed. But just because they don't have size doesn't mean they don't have talent. There's some really good players on that team.
And the talent and experience too. These girls went through a lot. I shouldn't say girls, young ladies. They went through a lot last year to get to the final. They've played together now for a few years. They feed off one another, as all good teams do. They beat a good Du Bois team for the second time this season. Now they get another shot at Penn State Beaver, and something tells me that our Lady Lions here want another chance at Penn State Beaver.
Hazleton area Lady Cougars swimming. Dave, Megan Llewellyn got her 1,000th point against Holy Redeemer. We're going to have some coverage coming up on the Lady Cougars and Cougars on SSP TV News, and also in local swimming. Marion, Dave, they really showed up at that Schuylkill League meet. Danny Berlitz, I think, had the 2 fastest times in the state, I read, for AA in his 2 events. So that's impressive. And I'm not a big swimming guy. Don't know, a ton about it. I didn't even get my swimming merit badge in Boy Scouts, Dave, but that's probably pretty good when you're posting the 2 best times in the state when you're getting ready for district.
No doubt about it. And when you're only a sophomore and you really don't have, you're not on a team per se, but you're doing a lot of competitive swimming during the off season. And as part of the small Marion group, they get to swim with Tamaqua, and in the Schuylkill League, they get to compete in those meets. And when Danny Berlitz, when the lights go on, Danny Berlitz he's been a top-notch performer now for 2 seasons, and his best days are still ahead of him. And don't forget about Katie Krasinski, who's done very, very well too at the local and the league and the district level, and she's going to be probably headed back to states too. So she's another one. And Angelina Krupko, another talented swimmer. There's a lot of talented swimmers there at Marion.
And there's so much going on in the area right now, getting ready for wrestling regionals, Dave, district playoffs in basketball, so much more. And you can follow it all in the Standard Speaker and right here on SSP TV News.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, the Pennsylvania State Police are now accepting applications for their annual Camp Cadet program. The camp is open to boys and girls between the ages of 12 and 14 and who reside in the Troop N area. The camp will be held from July 16th through the 21st and will give people a better understanding of law enforcement activities. Deadline for applications is March 31st, and for more information, please call 570-459-3890, extension 269. Our next announcement, the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce is offering a roadway flagger certification training Thursday, March 9th. Z Medical will present the training from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. at the Chamber offices. Registration is $60 for members and $75 for non-members. For info, just visit hazletonchamber.org. And finally, Community Services for Sight will be holding their 16th annual No Tap Bowling Tournament Saturday, February 18th at Valley Lanes in Sybertsville. 3 sessions are available, 12:30, 4 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. Cost is $18 per bowler, and all proceeds benefit the agency. For info, just call 570-455-0421. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. SSPTV News would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Angeline Barth, formerly of Hazleton. Mass is Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Holy Rosary Parish. Friends may call at the church from 9 to 10 a.m. Barbara Craigle, formerly of Hazleton. Funeral is Saturday at 12:30 p.m. at the Most Precious Blood Church. Arlene M. Sorini, formerly of Hazleton. No local services were announced. Charles A. DeMuzio of Hanover Township. Arrangements will be announced by the Kopicki Funeral Home. Carol Ann Richardson. Services are Friday at 11 a.m. at the Trinity Lutheran Church. Arrangements are under the direction of the Joseph B. Conahan Funeral Home. And Ted M. Nagel, formerly of Hazleton. Funeral is Friday at 2 p.m. at the Faith UCC. Friends may call Friday from 12:30 to 2 p.m. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Bradley Wood of Ashland. Bradley, if you're watching, give us a call, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
When I was a lad, I used to go to the Laurel Mall sports card shows and buy every Mike Schmidt and Bo Jackson they had. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. It's happening. More fun tomorrow. Take it easy, everyone.
Watch us online anytime at ssptv.com and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.